Hello fellow collectors, Todd's back. Right, this is the review and my thoughts to the InArt Premium Edition of Aragon, and also a comparison with another Aragon. Okay, so this came from courtesy of 1/6 Kit. Check them out. What he does, he puts this box in a great big, packs it all up and everything else. So you unpack that, you get the InArt shipper box, and inside that you get the actual, where it says Lord of the Rings. It doesn't actually say Aragon on there. And then you get Aragon's box itself with the slip cover, and revealing this absolutely beautiful, it's absolutely gorgeous, this box, and this spins round as well. Anyway, so that's the sort of packaging you get from InArt. I've shown that before. I mean, you see the one when I do the review on the InArt Batman with Bruce Wayne. It's just so many boxes. Okay, without further ado, let's bring this to the table and have a look, shall we? Right, once you open up the box, it comes in 3 layers. I've taken off all of it. Each individual piece is actually wrapped up like InArt normally do. I've done that. So, like I said, it comes in 3 layers. This is just some of his accessories, because the other one, all the other accessories are actually on the figure itself. You come with your normal instructions booklet and a letter to say thank you, and you always come with one of these cards here which actually shows you the actual figure. They do this with every single figure, so it's, you know, it's like a little collector's item itself. Believe it or not, even the bat signal's got its own one as well. But yeah, so it all sets of instructions. It tells you most of the things, like how to tie the belt and everything else, but it doesn't show you every place where items would go or what they're for. I still feel they could do better in their instruction manual, because it doesn't give you clear instructions about everything. You would normally end up finding I'd have to watch another video just to get some sort of idea. I mean, they've got their own YouTube channel which shows you a lot of the stuff on there, so I just mainly copy that. Right, so some of the accessories, we all know the head sculpt comes in one of these, perfectly wrapped up and perfectly protected. There's one good thing I will be telling you about the head sculpt that they have improved on, but when we come to the figure I'll tell you about that. Right, he does wear a cloak, as you see, that was actually given to him, but when he doesn't wear a cloak, this would actually go around his shoulder, pretending it is actually the cloak all wrapped up. So that's what that's for. You obviously get the bow itself, and you get another bow that actually goes in his packaging. Okay, but also get, for some reason, you get a polishing cloth. Don't ask me. And then you get the King's Sword. If you've seen the actual the trilogy itself, you can see this sword as it's laying there, and this is all broken up, obviously from the big battle they first had. I tell you what, it is the King's Sword. It's a nice little touch, but I would have to get myself the statue that actually holds it, because it's all in pieces, and I'm scared to open that just in case I lose the pieces. If you want to see what the actual sword looks like if it was all in one piece, then this is the King's Sword. You don't actually get this one with the InArt one, you get this with another 1/6 scale Aragon. But if you have a look at it, it's actually a bit bigger. It's just weird. Now, I've got a feeling with InArt this might be the more accurate size for 1/6. This always did seem a little bit big, but yeah, you get your sheath, and I'll show you more on that when we come to it, when I do a comparison with the other 1/6 scale Aragon. Okay, you get assortment hands. There's some that even look the same, which I don't get. So you get two of these and they're virtually the same, and they say on there one's supposed to be blooded. Well, it's not. I can't figure it out. It's obviously more for the bow, where that finger's more bent downwards than that one, but it is when he actually holds the bow. So one of the hands I do like are the blooded hands on both sides, but I do wish they had these in gripping as well. I just like the thought of having these gripping hands with blood on them. But yeah, they're quite well done. I'll probably be using them. You obviously have his gripping hands with the ring on, and I've got some actually on the figure itself. Right, so they're just the small tiny accessories you get. Let's have a look at the figure, shall we? And this is Aragon, the premium edition, so obviously it's the rooted hair. I personally like rooted hair more than fixed hair, because you see this pose you got here, you wouldn't have been able to do it with the molded hair at all, because you wouldn't have been able to, because it just wouldn't happen. Okay, so I always prefer the rooted hair anyway, because you can always play around with it. As you see, I will show you a closer look at all this figure in a minute anyway, but I'm just sort of showing the posability on this figure is really good. They have improved the actual bases as far as the magnets go, and I will show you what I mean with that. But overall, this is really a good figure. I know it's got a little bit of criticism of the head sculpt not being as perfect as the prototypes, but what company does? I mean, seriously, the amount of times you see head sculpts from Hot Toys and they do not turn out the same way. It's because it's the different painting applications you got on it and everything else. But I've got a feeling how I might be able to fix that. But I will show you more in the video. But he is quite a stunning piece. So, well, let's have a look. Let's have a bit of a closer look, shall we? Right, his boots are made of a material which is a really lovely touch. I mean, you can really, it just gets the feeling that they're actually real. Absolutely fantastic. It is a material, and they are binded down there, and it's brilliant. You still got your pivots on your boots itself. I think they're really well done. But the amount of accessories you got, the belt, I mean, you've even got his little pipe there. It does show you how to put all this on and how the best way to do it. It's not always easy, and it's you just have to be careful with it. I would say you would need tweezers around here, but it's pretty simple enough when you really look at it. But his clothing, the material you got on here is top quality. It's really lovely, and this is absolutely lovely and soft but durable, and I really like it. It is more of the, I would say it feels a bit leathery, but it's probably pleather anyway. So anyone with that's got high humidity and open to UV light, then be very careful. You've got this, obviously one of his cloaks that he uses was actually given to him, and then there's the back where there's his other bow there. He's still got all his, and then his sleeping bag. But this is what I'm saying, that if you didn't use this cloak, you could put the other one where it goes around his strap. But the detail on, you know, just really cool. Do you have problems putting in the hands? I did see another YouTuber saying this. Not well, funny enough, just the same sort of problems I got with my Hot Toys. What turned up yesterday was Hot Toys cane, and putting the hands on that was a lot more difficult than putting hands on this, believe you me. The holes have got a bit smaller and the pegs are still the same size. They are more secure, but it's the same with this. I didn't have too much problem, but you know, you are going to get problems with most figures. So let's have a look at the head sculpt, shall we? Right, it's having a look. It has got an eye pierce system, and let's just take this head off. Okay, slow that down. So the head sculpt is there. From what they showed you, it's there. But what it is I've got a feeling it needs more shadowing on it. The beard needs a bit more shadowing. All around here, on his cheeks. I'm just going to give this probably to a top artist and just put a lot more shadowing on it. I was thinking of doing it, but it seems someone on Facebook has already had that idea. Let me just show you the pictures of that. So if you see here, this is the one you're getting, and all he's done is just put a bit more shadow on it, and it just brings it to life more. I mean, just look at the beard, it's a bit darker. I mean, that's how it really should have been finished off anyway. So, you know, InArt, really, your prototype was more like that than it is like that. I can understand that you're bringing out so many figures. It's not always easy to do, and I can understand that because Hot Toys are just as guilty as anyone else for doing it. But they're not cheap, these figures. They really ain't. So I've got a feeling I'm going to be giving my head sculpt to just someone to touch it up. They don't have to do too much, but just to give it that little bit more realism. So that is the only bit where I just feel InArt did let us down, because the prototypes they showed you just look like the real person. Okay, right, well, that's just my little gripe. Now here's the improvement on the head sculpt itself. Whereas in the past, to move the eyes, you literally had to take part of the back off. Now you can actually get inside without taking the back off to move the eye pierce system, so you don't mess up the hair itself. Okay, now there is little videos on here to show you how to look after the hair, which is, you know, all you need is a little bit of gel. I've got some gel, and just moving the hair just to get it in place and then set it all up. I haven't really done that too well at the moment, because I've literally had it out the box and then just put it straight into display because I knew I was going to have to do a video. But I can see how the hair should actually look, and it looks really cool. Okay, so let's probably pop his head back on a moment. Now, I know someone did have a bit of a problem with theirs, whereas the head was a bit loose and he got two sets of hands the same, whatever. There was a hand missing, but his supplier didn't really want to help him out too much, and I won't say who that is, but it isn't someone I've used before. Right, okay, so as far as the details go, let's just open him up. Right, the hand, he has got a gripping hand here, and the other one here isn't his gripping hand, it's just to make, so when I move it over, I just open that up so it looks like he's holding it with both hands. So let's open this. His sheath, his knife. probably not sure if you'll see all this, but there's some lovely details on there, and it is really well done. There is, funny enough, also, I've forgotten where it was now. There is actually another knife. Oh yeah, that's right. It's in his sheath itself. Just here, he gets another little knife as well. It's just getting the little bugger out. But there is a little knife in there in his sheath like he used in the film. The clothing on this is really nice itself. It's absolutely fantastic. Let's just take this off a moment. Bear with me. Okay, so I think they've done a really good job on this. I mean, there's obviously some more to show you at the moment. It does look quite stunning. I'm actually gonna think of a different pose. I mean, I did have him holding that sword like double like you first saw him. But I've really got other ideas how to actually use him. But I do think if you had this clothing on, which I have got on the other one, it does hide the fact of the amazing detail on his clothing itself. But it's totally up to you what you do. Yeah, it does look really cool. Okay, so where have they improved? They have done it on a few figures now. But to improve actually on the magnets for the base itself, because there are quite a few haters on the actual bases because of the magnet thing. Right, let's have a look at it. Right, on the back, you spin it off. You got your Aragon and everything. You spin it off, and then you got your magnets inside. So whichever way you want to position the feet, they either move down, or if you want to widen the feet, they widen that way, like that. See, that is quite a good idea. And knowing how I have more of an action pose, that would be how I'd have it. The actual stand itself is very well done. I mean, look at that. It's a little diorama in itself, isn't it? Absolutely really like it. There is another diorama I did actually get a little while ago, which I put on here. So let's have a look at it. And here we go. The obviously this one, well, it says it's done by InArt. They actually just the third seller to do it. We all know who it's actually made by. But this figure, it does stand out for me. I was really looking forward to it because if anyone knows, I'm into the Lord of the Rings big time, the movies. If I could start all over again, when I did, I would probably just buy Lord of the Rings a lot. So that means I'd have loads of statues as well. It's too late now. It would cost me shitload to make, because obviously everything's come and gone and about 3 times the price now. But yeah, so I have pre-ordered the new Legolas, the Nazgul with the horse. I was pretty early to get that in, and also get the extra sword that InArt are doing. So that pre-order's in, and quite looking forward to getting it. So how good have they done this? Well, I have got another 1/6 scale Aragon. It's not done by Amos Toys, no, it's done by a company called ACI. It was part of another company that was unlicensed, but when they won the contract to do Lord of the Rings, they set up the company ACI, so it was actually registered. They managed to make 2 figures before it was handed to Amos Toys, where they said they could do it cheaper, and it was cheaper. I mean, the first lot of Amos Toys figures that they came out with, to me, sorry, but they weren't very good at all. They did improve over time, and I must admit I have got quite a few Amos Toys ones, but the early ones, no. But they did at least 3 editions of Aragon, and not one of them they got right. The clothing they got better, but the head sculpt nowhere near it. So, but ACI did 2 figures. They did an Aragon and they did a Ring Wrath, which you better known as the Nazgul. But its armor was actually made of metal, whereas the Amos Toys one was plastic. They did do a metal one further years down the line, but the ACI stuff was so much better. It was a little bit more expensive, but they just took their time on it. I have got the figure. I haven't actually got the box with me. It's up in storage, but let's have a quick look at it, shall we? So this is the ACI one, and as you see, you have all the details there. Now, when it came, the hair was so much more. You had to literally do something with it. I bought this secondhand off someone, and I had my missus start working on the hair, and she said someone's already tried to have a go. She could notice it because she's a hairdresser. Now, all you need, this needs watering down again, and probably needs thinning out as well. But it was the best one you could get. They had all mud all over the clothes, even the boots, even the jacket. There's mud all around there. It was really highly detailed. The actual necklace itself is so much better, because I tell you what, he's got one, but be really, really careful because it's so delicate. Put it on with some tweezers if you can. I will show you it, but the chain, it looks like it could fall off. It's very delicate. This one I do feel is better made. Probably the brooch for hanging the cloak is a bit big, but it's got all the details there. It's actually really well done. I really like this. Now, they only made so many of these, I think about 1,500, but they only made 100 special editions, and the special editions are with the King's Sword, which I showed you earlier. So I have got 1 of 100. This one I would never sell. I really do like it. I did actually have a special base done for it. So yeah, which one is actually better? Well, InArt do win it. I do have to say the colouring is more right on this. The head sculpt is better, but remember this one came out a long time ago, but it was the best one out there because Amos Toys couldn't get it right either. But his head probably does need a bit sorted out a little bit again now, but I really do like it. So yeah, InArt, you certainly win. The colouring, everything, because this one's even got plastic boots, not as good as the InArt ones. So InArt do take it for this. This one though, still very good for its time, because you got to remember this figure now. I mean, he came out when I was virtually starting. He's about an 8-9 year old figure, so they done really well. And that was ACI at the time. If you can find one of these, it's well worth having. He did come with a lot of stuff as well. I can't remember half the stuff it did come with. It's all, like I said, in the box. But I've always had this out on display. Okay, so it even come with 2 bows, but this one goes on his backpack as well, just like it does with InArt. But yeah, so I've got 2 Aragons in my collection. But as far as InArt, you've done a really good job. I just feel maybe you could have just done that little bit more touch up on the head sculpt, put darker shading on it. But that's what I'm probably going to have done, and then this figure is going to be perfect. I love the idea where you can easily get to the eyes without pulling the hair apart. But I think you've done an absolutely fantastic job, and it's certainly the best one out there. So yeah, I would give my definitely thumbs up for this one. Anyone who's waiting for theirs, you won't be disappointed. I know someone was disappointed with theirs because he had a loose head sculpt and one of the hands was missing, and he wasn't really getting being listened to, which I think is absolutely disgusting. If InArt got to hear about it, they would be a little bit annoyed. I certainly wouldn't be using that company to get your stuff from in the future. I know he's going to be using 1/6 kit from now on because of it. Okay then, right, so if you're looking for this, if you're getting the one with the sculpted hair, then you won't be disappointed either, but it's just, you just got to be careful on the posing and not clip any of the clothing itself. But I've seen pictures of that, it still looks really cool as well. But I'll always go for rooted. Okay then, right, so what's coming up next? I'll probably be doing a quick video on the Hot Toys cane, and then the big one coming up is the InArt premium edition of Batman and Bruce Wayne with the bat signal itself. And my thoughts on it, is it really worth spending that extra money or just getting the Hot Toys one? I will show you some of the nig bits and some of the good points. So yeah, that's one to look out for. So the next one coming up in a few days time will be the Hot Toys cane, but from now, this is the InArt Aragon, and I'm telling you now, you won't be disappointed. So I absolutely really like it. I do believe they got all the right colouring. Right, so this is it, signing off, and I'll see you soon for the next review. If you've got any questions, then don't hesitate to ask. And if you want to know more about this base, there is a video on it. Okay then, see you soon. Ta-da.